What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I'm Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up. And a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at any point during the show, you can call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and you can watch the show on any of the platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Punchy.tv. And as you're watching, you can definitely call in. If for whatever reason you cannot call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. All right. What's today? Today is Relationships Wednesday. You guys know how it goes. You guys know that my live episodes are themed Monday through Thursday. Each day is different. And if you like a specific theme more than another and you prefer content based on that specific theme, I have playlists set up on my YouTube channel to where if you click on the YouTube channel on the homepage, you will see the playlist section that says themed live episodes, and each episode goes with each day. And I have a playlist of those specific episodes. So if you prefer Tuesday, True Crime Tuesdays, if you prefer Grace and Mercy Mondays, which is about faith and spirituality, or you prefer Relationship Wednesdays, I have playlists designated for each of those days, and content is all up in there. All right? Relationships Wednesday. But before we get into that, some little news. Keep it light. Keep it light. How you guys like my shirt? It's pink. Shout out to the pink shirt. It's like, when I saw it, I was like, I like this. This is cool. And I'm not like a big fan of like pink, but when I saw it, it just was like fly. So I'm like, I need that one. So I got it. So shout out to Tommy Hilfiger. Anyway, so quick news. As you guys know, Mr. Donald Trump, President of the United States, is cracking down on crime, cracking down on the border, and really trying to just get stuff done, right? The best that he can. And as some of you guys may know, maybe most of you guys, is that a lot of our prisoners here in the United States who were illegals, who were gang members that came from other countries, are being shipped over to, or were already shipped over to President Bukele of El Salvador's prison that he has over there, which is this mega prison with like thousands and thousands and thousands of or a lot of room for thousands and thousands and thousands of inmates. And it's supposed to be the worst prison on earth, right? Trump sent those prisoners over there to Bukele's prison in El Salvador, right? And I watched a little documentary. We're going to get a little bit into that maybe on a potential episode of Punchy coming up here soon. But that is happening. And shout out to, Trump and the El Salvadorian president, El Salvador president, for making that happen, getting that done. But what I want to say about that is that a lot of people are questioning whether it's just true or whether Trump is actually doing and getting any of this stuff done, and whether or not it's all a scam. Is Trump just bluffing? Has this all been fake? And listen, At the end of the day, I trust Trump. And that sounds crazy for most people to hear. Like, why you just trust this man? You don't even know him. Is that I've seen enough, and for whatever reason, I can see clear his intentions. I see that he means well. I see that he's a real guy, and he's doing his best to do what's right. I see that so clear, and I don't know, that's all I need to know. And because I see that so clear, which actually goes into the message of today for Relationships Wednesday, is because I see that so clear, is why I trust him. I trust that I don't have to worry about it. He's going to get the job done. He's going to do his job, right? We still have a job to do as citizens, of course, right? Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Be a good citizen. Work on yourself. Pay attention. Be aware of yourself. Consider your neighbors. Respect your neighbors. Love all, right? We have a duty as well, but I trust that he's doing his job, even if I don't always know all the details. Even if I don't know what certain things mean, I trust Donald Trump is going to do his job, and he's getting it done. No matter the speed, no matter how long it takes, no matter if I can't see it clear, no matter if I don't know what I'm talking about, I trust Donald Trump to get his job done. And that's what it's about, right? Being able to see that and being able to have that trust so you can let go and know that somebody's taking care of things that are out of your control. So shout out to Donald Trump. And I say that to say the reason why I bring that up specifically is where it leads into Relationships Wednesday's conversation today. All right? And today we're talking about what is a real connection? What is that? What does that even look like? Is it a feeling? Does it come and go? Does it stay forever? Let me tell you, a connection ain't no feeling. Okay, I want to say that right off the bat. Connections and a sparks are two different things, right? You know, everybody says that, oh, I felt the spark was there. I found early on in my little dating phase that sparks are just emotions, right? Those are just emotional. It's like pleasure points. There's like pleasure spikes. That's what sparks are, right? They're just all sexual. It's all sexual. It doesn't dictate anything. It doesn't tell you that this is real or not. They're just emotional highs. Those are all what sparks are. A connection is what is more valuable, right? Because a connection is beyond your control, and it's beyond your effort, right? You can't create a connection. You can't make a connection happen. It has to happen on its own, on your behalf. And that you can't find, right? That you can't seek. It just has to happen. So I want to get into that because there's some people who have some opinions about that. And I have some clips here that I want to play in regards to that, okay? What is a real connection? I don't know if you guys know who Jay Shetty is. Jay Shetty is a podcast host, very popular, well-known, interviews a lot of well-known celebrities. And he interviews this man named Stephen or maybe Stephen Labossiere. Labossiere. He spells his name his last name Labossiere. Labossiere. It may not be Labossiere, but the only reason why I say Labossiere because that is my mother's maiden name. Oh, I just doxed my mom. Oops. But you don't know her first name. That's her maiden last name, right? So, but it's not Labossiere. It's sliced up a little bit differently, but anyway, the point is, I think it's pronounced that way. And I also say that too because I think he might be French, this guy. He might be a Creole. He's dark skinned, but he might be a Creole, right? Because Lavoisier is a French last name. So anyway, what the? Steven shares what a real connection looks like on Jay Shetty's podcast. Here we go.
I think that I'm a huge believer in connection. And I believe connection is like your spirit recognizing its match. And it's very instant. When you speak to couples who said they experienced a connection, they'll tell you first conversation, first time meeting, first date, first week, it was pretty fast. So to me, the recognizing of something deeper being here can happen very quickly. But how we now cultivate that and how we move forward is where we need to take our time and make sure we're not rushing and overlooking certain important issues that need to be discussed and addressed first.
Okay. So my man basically just saying you get in a relationship, a connection is good, but you still got to get to know each other to make sure that you don't miss any red flags or you guys are ready to go for a marriage. Now, what he's saying is true. Absolutely true. Okay? What he's saying, right? Is that just because you have a connection don't necessarily mean that you just want to rush into something. Absolutely true. But here is where I disagree. Okay? Here's why I disagree. All you need, in my opinion, my belief, all you need is that connection, period, right? Because that connection really is, the word connection is kind of overused. It's very like fluffy sounding. But really what it really is just there's no other way to describe it. It's just a connection, right? But it came together naturally. It's not of yourself, like I explained. And that is all that's needed, right? That is all that's needed. That's what's most important. That is what keeps two people together, right? But where I understand what he's saying is, first off, that connection is love. That's what that connection is. It is love. It's God's love, right? Connecting two people together, right? It's God's involvement into it. But here's the thing, right? Is that just because you have that now does not mean that it's going to work out, because this is what happens is that, yes, that connection is there. And why this guy says that doesn't mean you want to just rush into something is because people, as you get to know each other, as you challenges come up, people start to forget that connection, right? Because guess what? Anger gets involved, disagreements get involved, different things come up, and the emotions start to cloud the judgment, right? So now you can't fully see clear. And what is that? That's ego, right? So the ego gets involved, and the ego, when you're in the ego, you can't see love, right? When you're in love, you can't see ego. But when the ego gets involved, you forget. All truth is out the window, right? So when this happens, now you start believing the lies, right? And you forgot all about the connection. So these things you typically want to work through before you make this lifelong commitment, because you want to make sure that the person remembers what is true, what is real, that connection. But where I disagree is that if you can remember what that connection is, if you can remember how to get back to that connection, if you have the tools to get back to what is true, what that connection is, the love that you guys, have, the real thing, then nothing's stopping you from getting married, getting involved, and for it lasting till death do you part. Nothing's stopping you. As long as, because challenges are going to come, right? The ego's going to pop up. You're going to be tempted to react this way, think that way. and it's gonna get blurry, and and then you're gonna doubt a little bit. Am I sure? Did I do? But if you remember the truth, you're fine. You're there. It's done. It's already done. If you could stay and come back to the truth, come back to that connection, and you know how to stay there, right? Then you're good to go. But oftentimes that's not always the case, right? So, at the end of the day, I don't recommend that people rush things, but I also don't recommend that people like draw it out either. I think that you know when you know, no matter how long that takes, but at the same time, you want to also have an understanding of just dating in general a little bit, right? You want to know how ladies operate a little bit. You want to know how one time and one moment they're in one place and at another moment they're in another place, right? Their mind is kind of, back and forth. But then you also get to know that person and discover that they tend to find their way back to the center. And that's what you want. You just want to know that no matter what happens, the person is going to find their way back to the center, and then you're fine, right? And then you're good. These are the things that you need to know. And that way, if you're going to marry the person, is that connection has to be there, and they have to be able to find that connection when things go astray. And that's why people get to know each other, right? How are they going to handle challenges? How are they going to handle arguments? How are they going to handle disagreements? How are they going to handle suspicions? That's a huge one too. Suspicions. Well, that seems a little suspicious. Why you do that? Why you do that? Why you behave that way? Right? But if you remember what is important, you'll be fine. So that's all I want to say about that. But I also realized, and then I have some other stuff I want to show you guys here. I also realized that that a lot of people have lists, right? That people love to have a list, or they love to have the right place you should meet somebody. And I realize both of those things too are improper. There's no list that you can write out of the perfect person. Throw away the list, right? That's just a distraction. That doesn't matter. Those things change. That list of things that you think you like I want somebody with money. I want somebody who loves their parents. I want somebody who loves da-da-da-da. That's personality traits, that's interest, and those things come and go. They change. They don't last, right? And those are just things. And you don't want to live life based on those things. You want to live life based off of what is right. And you can only be guided by that. So you want to let God just do whatever he's going to do with your life. And throw away the list. Also, people say that the greatest place to meet somebody is in the grocery store, at the gym, and here are healthy places to meet people. And they put all these different things out there. And I understand what they mean. It's better than going to the club. It's better than going to the bar to meeting somebody or whatever the case is. It's better than going online dating. It's better than doing all those things. But there's no right place to meet somebody because you really shouldn't be having an expectation of meeting anybody anywhere, right? As a matter of fact, none of the relationships that I deem as that were genuine in my life were ever intentional. You know what I mean? Like planned. They kind of just happen, right? And I'm not talking about just like intimate relationships. I'm talking about like casual friendships or whatever. The people who are still in my life or the people I met that I appreciate or whatever, you know? They tend to just kind of be random, right? And that's how life is supposed to work, right? We're not supposed to have control of all these things because we don't really know what we want as human beings. You know what I mean? So that's that. But anyway, there's this guy named Anthony O'Neill. I don't know if you guys know who he is. And he has this show called The Table with AO. And he talks to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And they talk about some stuff, right? And I kind of want to do a little pause and play action on this clip. See what you guys think. And then I'll get to your guys' super chats. You know what? As a matter of fact, before we get to that, let me do your guys' super chats first. And then we'll get to that mess. Let me see here. Hold up. Hold up. Oh. Let me see. Give me a second. Ha ha. All right. Oh. I gotta buy me coffee too. Oh dang it, man. Buy me a coffee sometimes logs me out. Give me 1 second, guy. Glad I'm gonna get to your buy me a coffees right now. Marie Ubaldo with the super chat on YouTube says, Joel, it's are you learning French and Spanish? Are you learning French and Spanish? No, I wish. Wifey happens to be Spanish, and I keep telling her to teach me Spanish, but she won't do it. So you guys can blame her. As a matter of fact, give her a tough time for that, okay? Because I've been saying all my life, I've always wanted to learn Spanish. And my little brother was raised by my uncle's wife, which is my aunt, mom, who only speaks Spanish, right? My little brother was babysat by her for a very long time, and he speaks Spanish. I always was jealous. I was ticked. I was like, how come you get? I always just like the language. I just think it's cool. But I know very small words, right? Vocabulary very small. But I've been trying to get her to teach me Spanish. She won't do it. So make sure you guys get on her about that and tell her that she a bad wife, that she don't teach her husband Spanish. Get on her. Omi says, startup capital on Buy Me a Coffee, startup capital for Joel's Ghetto Sunday School. We need to hear more Bible stories. Right on, Omi. I appreciate it. Referring to my ghetto Bible story yesterday of what's that man's name? Moses. I almost said a Moesha. Moses. We got into it. Yeah, the Bible stories are pretty fun. So appreciate that on me. I shall have some more Bible stories coming up in the near future. Renesio says, Joel, how do I, Lord have mercy, aspirate? I don't know what you're saying, Renesio, but I think it's a little too dirty to say on air. You got to call in, Renesio. I don't know what you're saying, and if I think what you're saying is dirty, can't say that on air. What the? But thank you, Renesio, for the donut. Let me see here. Maria Baldo says, Hola, Joel. How did you and your wife get married? Was it traditional or was it through the justice of peace? I don't know. Are you learning French or Spanish? I don't know what the justice of peace is. And I don't really know what traditional a traditional marriage is, meaning like how to go about it in a traditional way. I mean, I didn't have a big wedding. I didn't have a wedding at all, really. I just did a little small thing. I don't really like the attention that much. I really want everybody kind of like, hey, that's so great. I'm so happy for you. You guys are gonna go for. I just don't like that kind of fluffy stuff because people are just being nice, and that's cool. But I mean, I'm just regular, and people kind of look at you different too. Now that they know that you're married or like you do all these things, they kind of treat you different. It's like your birthday, right? I'm not big on celebrating birthdays either, just because like I just don't like when a specific day everybody is more in your face than they normally would be. And they treat you different, you act different, you're the center of attention, and then everybody just loving on you when that's not how they normally treat you. You know what I mean? I just not into that. I'm just still Joel, still doing my thing, and ain't nothing changed for me at all as an individual except just married now. So that I just want to be that same thing. So yeah, I didn't do a big thing about it. Um, and it was done in secret, and that's how I like it to be. Is that traditional? Maybe. I don't know. But there's nothing wrong with weddings either. That's your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing, 21. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. Crutch Free Paradigm says, Hombre is dressed for a job at Mar-a-Lago. What a job at Mar-a-Lago do you do? Just asking. I'm the relationship expert at Mar-a-Lago. Trump put me in charge of all the relationships. Anybody who need relationship advice over there at Mar-a-Lago, Trump allowed me to oversee that. And they call me Dr. Love Boat Expert Man. And I just help everybody with their relationships. I tell them go online, make sure you find one on Tinder. Make sure that you guys fall in love on eHarmony. That's one of the best ones. Make sure that when you take her on the first date, you spend all your money. Make sure you do that. Make sure that she believes that you're very rich, that you got a lot of money. Make sure that you always tell her she's beautiful. Make sure on the first date, you let her know that you love her. And make sure that she knows that no matter what you guys get into, no matter what happens, no matter what, you're always going to be there even if she has 10 other men. So I tell them that and they bring me back. So that's my job over there at Mar-a-Lago. I'm just playing. Thank you, Crutch Free Paradigm. R1 says from yesterday, Rick got a voice of a preacher. Preacher, brother. Yeah, Rick got that very energetic, very happy tone. Rick from Virginia. It just very, very, very positive voice. Yeah, I mean, when you're looking for a rent, you just need some positivity in your life. Call Rick. You know what I mean? Rick ain't gonna tell you nothing negative. So yeah, I agree. Rick got the voice. Kale Samogi says, "Did you watch the Ten Commandments yet?" I have not, Kale. But you reminded me. I totally forgot about that. I shall watch the Ten Commandments, and I shall get back to you and let you know because you told me that before, and I looked at the preview and it looked pretty good. So I shall watch the Ten Commandments. Nice. All right. Let me go to Marie out of California. Marie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joel?
How's it going, Marie? Oh, Madi.
I'm good.
I gotta remember it's Madi. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's Derek can't pronounce it, but I told her to say Maurice or.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah. I was just going to clarify my super chat. So.
Yes.
Are you learning Spanish and French? Because you said your family's from Louisiana.
Yes.
Are you learning Creole French?
I'm not learning. No, because my family, nobody in my immediate family knew it, and even my grandparents didn't really know it. So it was never around me. So it was never an influence. But I grew up in like a Hispanic neighborhood, and I always heard Spanish around me. And then I have family members who were half Mexican, and they spoke Spanish. So I always kind of admired Spanish. And French and Spanish have like a similar.
It's similar.
Yeah, it's very similar. So I think it might just already be in me to just appreciate the language.
So is wifey teaching you Spanish?
That's what I'm trying to say. Nope, she's not. I'm like, why would I've been trying to get her to do it, she won't do it. So I think the chat is gonna get her in line.
Well, I'm married to a Mexican myself, and my husband teaches me and my daughter Spanish.
Nice.
That's how that's how I know Spanish.
Are you Hispanic?
No, I'm not.
Oh, what are you? Are you, if you don't mind saying, are you white or?
I'm mixed by a lot of stuff, but I just go with four things. So, I'm Cherokee Indian, Creole French, half white, half black.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Nice. But Madi is Hispanic sounding.
It's Hispanic because my husband's family called me that.
Oh, okay. I see.
So my name is Madi in Spanish, so that's why I go for it, because my sister-in-law, her name's the same as mine.
Nice.
So I have to go by that, and then she has a nickname.
Oh, okay. And did your husband teach you Spanish where you can speak it fluently now, or just understand?
No, the thing is, I took Spanish in high school, and then I have friends from different countries. They taught me different slangs, so I was picking up more Spanish, because in reality, Creole French is my native language.
Okay. I see. Oh, so you know French.
I know the basics.
Okay.
My dad was supposed to taught me speak French, but then he passed away.
Oh, I see. So then
my dad's from Mexico. My dad's from Louisiana. He's from Lake Charles.
Oh, okay, yeah, my dad too. I can't tell you exactly where though, but he didn't move out to California until he was 25. So he grew up in New Orleans.
Yeah, my dad never spoke English either, so he only spoke French. And then then he taught him. Well, my mom's friend, she spoke German and English and French, and so she taught my dad how to speak English.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Nice. So was it easy for you to learn Spanish because you already kind of had like the French and Spanish from high school already kind of lingering in there?
Well, the thing on learning how to speak another language, you have to listen to pick it up.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's how because English is my first language, James. Because I know you said English is my second language. No, it's my first.
Yeah.
Spanish is my second, and French is it's going to be my third. Well, it is my third.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Right on, Amadi. But I appreciate you calling in to clear up that super chat. Makes sense now.
And then one more.
Yeah.
Did you get married to traditional or do the justice of the peace?
Say that again.
Did you get married traditional or justice of the peace?
What is that? I don't know what that means.
You go to the courthouse and they marry you.
Oh, justice of the peace is the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the courthouse. No, JLP did a little ceremony for myself and her, and that was it. Yeah.
Oh, because I went to the courthouse and did that.
Same thing.
It saves you money.
Yeah, right.
It saves you
it's
money.
The same thing too, and you just really need the witness, and you just need to do your little thing there, and then you're good to go. It's not as drawn out as most people think. It's very simple process.
Yeah, it's a simple thing because you can bring your own rings or they bring it to you. But my husband, he got us our rings and he carved our names in it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. And how long you and your husband been married?
It'll be 15 years in May.
Right on. Congrats.
And then we've been together for 20.
No, oh, really? Total? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
5 years before. Nice. Right on,
yeah,
buddy.
We've been together 20 years, 15 marriage, and then we got a 17-year-old daughter.
Nice. Well, shout out to you and your husband. I hope you guys continue. I wish you guys well.
You and your wife as well.
Thank you.
And you guys make some babies too.
That's right. That's right. We'll let you know. We'll keep you updated. I appreciate it, Marty.
I'll bet on you. She'll teach the baby Spanish, but not you.
Right before me. I know. I already know. All right, Marty. Thank you.
No habla español, huh? All right. Take care, Joel. You have a good one.
You as well. Let me go to Justin out of California. Justin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks for taking my call. How are you?
All is well, Justin. How are you?
Cool. Just wanted your angle on what type of a relationship would there have to be for, I guess, a husband to leave his wife to go to a violent protest like Mr. Khalil Mahmoud, or I don't know if you say his name, Mahoud, something like that. Khalil apparently left his spouse, who's 8 months pregnant. Is that greed? What would possess someone to do something like that? Is there some type of other evil lust in their relationship where blood's boiling inside someone so much, like death to America, death to Israel? They got to go out and protest some type of Palestinian thing in New York. And he's a college student, he's already got limited funds, but it's a $90,000 a year school, per year you have to pay in Columbia University. So I would think he's definitely got some backing. He's got lawyers that he pays $1,000 an hour. So is there something behind this individual to do that, like greed or just
I'm not even
bloodthirstiness?
I'm not too familiar with who you're speaking about. Is this what happened?
I'm not either.
In briefly on who this person is.
I'm not too familiar, but yeah, he's a terrorist who just had been expelled from a protest, and they're going to consider deporting him. He is a green card holder with Algerian citizenship who was born in Syria and apparently has left his spouse, who is very distraught that ICE had deported or is in process of deportating him. And I was like, what would make someone get so caught up in politics or religion, or is it a bloodthirstiness in somebody that makes their blood boil maybe, or greed? Is there money behind it that says, hey, I'll take care of your family if you die or if you get arrested?
That's
normal people wouldn't do that, I don't think.
That's a good question. I'm not too familiar with his story, but I'll just speak on using that as an example. is that it could be a lot of those things. Oftentimes, people tend to believe that they are there's a righteousness in their pursuit, right? They believe that what they're doing is proper. They believe that what they're doing is standing up for what is right, and they're willing to sacrifice, their family or their children for what they believe is more important to them, whether it be doing what's right, whether it be their country or whatever. So sometimes we get caught up in the, ways just blind and can't see and do irrational things in the name of what is right and end up getting caught up and making mistakes. So it just sounds like it's a typical case. I'd have to look more into it to get more familiar, but that's the only thing that I could really think of that anybody would want to do something like that. You have a baby on the way, you have a family, you could have a happy home if you're just focusing on yourself, overcoming and leading your family in the proper way.
Right.
And that just seems like logical sense, but yeah, we get caught up in our ego and we want to do more, right? We have a purpose in life, and that is to bring justice to A, B, and C, save the world. But we're not called to save the world in that way.
Right. I mean, I agree. As a Christian, speaking to another Christian, our way of life is definitely different than many in the world. And I think that the scripture that comes to my mind is, I don't believe it was Jesus that said it, but it's in the Bible. And it was regarding orphans and the widows, and you're supposed to take good care of those type of people over any other good deed you could do. That's true religion, and I think we should focus on the things like our family and our future children and our wives, while we're on this earth, because we're not here for that long, and just to sacrifice it all for something that's fueled with, to say it straight, fueled with the warmongering and the hatred. I don't think it's going to end, in their religion, but I definitely think that Christians have a way to change in the world by following Jesus's teachings.
Yeah,
he submitted to the Father, the one true God that led him to dying and being crucified. And right today, Christians are being crucified.
Yeah.
They're saying convert or die. In Syria, throughout Europe, and in our own country, I think we should definitely set our standards as a Christian country a little bit higher than allowing barbarous religions that decapitate people and videotape it while they do it.
Yeah, the country itself has kind of lost its way for obviously a very long time. The more I got involved in it, the more I started to see how paying attention, how crazy it's gotten. But even when back in Jesus' time, when he was walking the earth, he didn't have a desire to save the world, right? He knew he was called to send this message, right, and do this thing, but he didn't have the desire to go out there and try to save everybody. What he did was he was just doing what he saw to do, what he was led to do by his Father within him, right, God. And he wasn't up here trying to make it known that he's this savior of the earth. He wasn't trying to boast about it. He wasn't trying to make a spectacle so all eyes will be on him. Oftentimes, he actually moved in silence. He was actually very quiet at a lot of different times. And he actually told people, what you have seen, do not tell others, because he knew what that meant. And it wasn't any fear. There was no fear attached to it. It was just he knew that there's no reason to boast about this truth. Not everybody's going to get it, and not everybody should hear it, because if they do, they were going to kill him. So, yeah, I think people have the wrong idea of what it means to stand up for your country. They have the wrong idea of what it means to protest or to street preach or all these things. So they just kind of go based off of like a perverse posturing of what it means to be a real man or a good citizen. And I think that's where we get it all messed up.
Yeah, I think you're definitely totally right. There had been even a time I met another type terroristic individual, but close quarters, and he explained how he converted to Christianity and left his white nationalist ways. He thought a lot of the stuff he was taught, like it was basically straight out of comic books, like Conan the Barbarian. Like he was like some type of a mythical, like Greek gods of mythology. Like he thought he was along those type of lines where he's like this warrior and he has to save the world. So a lot of people get caught up in radicalization because they're missing the void that's in their heart that's missing is the love of Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to sacrifice for your family and your community is great, but to feel like if you're being oppressed all the time and you're always a victim, it's easy for you to lash out and not rely on God.
Yeah, 100%, Justin. I agree. I agree with that. I'm running out of time here, so I got to keep the calls moving. But thanks for calling, man, and call me again.
Thank you. Amen. Have a good day.
All right, you as well. Yeah, I remember for a long time, Lord have mercy, I was trying to save everybody. I found myself, seeing the truth, so I wanted to tell everybody else the truth and tell everybody about forgiveness and tell everybody about this and that and correct everybody and all that stuff, and all of it was just like a false version of salvation, right? It was just making me feel good. I was looking for love, so I found like teachings and pastoring to others was fulfilling this emptiness within me, but yet nobody was getting helped because I was forcing it and I was, being a weird person instead of being just normal and regular, right? I feel like when somebody approaches you, they shouldn't. The only way that they know that you're a Christian is because it's like spilling out of you. Meaning, like they see that you have a light about you. But when you speak, you should sound like a normal person. You know what I mean? Normal language, just real. That's what I always appreciated about JLP, Jesse Lee Peterson, is that ever since that I first came to Bond, he always just talked regular. He wasn't all into the language and the syrupy talk. And sometimes I maybe I get into it a little bit on my show. But when you're out in public, I think that you should just conduct yourself as a normal person. Like, to where they don't automatically just think, oh, that's a religious person, that's a Christian. No, I think that's off-putting. Is ugly, to be honest. It's ugly. I don't even like when politicians do it either. When they're out and about, you see videos of them out and about and they talk like a politician. Everybody should just have a regular voice and just be normal and regular. And if conversation comes up, then you use your abilities to relay a message, right? That's it. You use your gifts or your skills to be able to do a job. But when you're not doing your job, you should just be regular guy. And I respect that so much more than any of this other stuff. These titles and these doctors and these pastors and these politicians and these activists. Everybody got a false identity, and that's the problem. Let me check the super chats here. Oh, and also if you're married or in a relationship, mainly people who are married, or you're a mother, you don't have to talk like a mother now too. You know how like when wives become wives, or when mothers become mothers, or even fathers too, right? You now think that you have this duty to like do the best that you can. And I understand that. But then now you just start like trying to be a father or try to be a mother, and you talk like mom. And everybody just need to be regular. That's the point. You get the point. Oh man, I'm running out of time here. Let me just double check the super chats. Let me check the super chats. Crutch Free Paradigm says, dang, sold your soul out for the shirt. What's wrong with my shirt? Come on. I wear the shirt don't wear me. Come on, man. Come on, Tommy Hilfiger, you wasn't playing. No, I just like the way it fits. But it is pink. And what's wrong with pink? I don't know, I think it's cool. Sure. Whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Thank you, Crush Free Paradigm. Appreciate it. Let me do my last checks here, my last run throughs, and then I'm going to end because American Anchor Baby is coming in right now. You don't want to miss his show on Rumble. Don't be nothing. It's all fake. Just pay your bills without ego. Exactly, Surge. Just live your life. Need more push-ups. Your mama need more push-ups, man. Nah, I'm playing. Let me see here. I got a couple minutes, so I'm just lollygagging. Oh, I got 1 minute. Maybe 30 seconds. Oh, last thing I want to say is that anytime we do talk like we're any kind of way, it's because we think that we're special or important, right? And nobody is. Nobody is special and important. You actually find more peace understanding that you're not special and important, that you just regular, that you just nothing, right? And it don't mean that you're a nobody and you judge yourself as being a nobody. It's not like that. It's just that you are not thinking that you're anything good, right? You're just who you are. And that's so much better because there's no expectation on your life now. Now you know I ain't nothing special, so you don't have no expectation over your head. And it's so much easier living like that way. But I got to end. American Anchor Baby's coming in right now. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby to watch Nick live right now, coming up here in 5 minutes. Make sure you guys go to Rumble. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm back here. Tomorrow's my last day of the week. But so make sure you guys tune in. I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Bye.